Hello and welcome back to another video here on the channel. In today's video, redstoners need to delight and cavers need to get exploring. It is 20W49A, the SCULK sensor is in the game, and we have a little peek at what dripstone caves might be looking like. Yes, we've got some things to take a look at. We are going to start things off by taking a look at the SCULK sensor. Now this here is the SCULK sensor. You can see there's lots of different pieces going on, and this is what it looks like. It's got a lovely animated texture. It is the same height as a half slab, and it cannot yet be crafted. It comes with no other blocks as of yet in this snapshot, and there is a lot of redstone functionality, which I'm going to try and demonstrate just some of it in today's video. Well, over here you can see the SCULK sensor can be waterlogged, meaning you are going to be able to detect vibrations underwater as well as above ground. Now, as I just mentioned, the SCULK sensor can detect vibrations. If you haven't already seen Minecon Live, this was shown at Minecon Live, so we've already seen a little snapshot of how this may work, and obviously a lot more we are going to be able to see today. This can detect vibrations, for example, placing a block down, and you'll see the little sort of waves light up when it's received a detection of all sorts of different movements. So I'm going to stand still, and then I'm going to walk, and you'll see these all start popping on. And we're going to take a look at what these different things mean. Well, firstly, how can you interact with this via redstone? Well, over here I have a redstone line of signal strength 15. And as we will see, the closer we are to it, if we, for example, stand over here, let's jump up and down, you'll see that that lights the whole line up. So this actually detects the radius. This has an 8-block radius, so it detects vibrations 8 blocks away from it. And this will all sorts of vibrations. There is a long list of them, which you can find on the changelog, which is down in the description. And typically, it is turning night. So let's do game rule, do daylight cycle, false, and then we'll just do time set day. Over here, we have something a little bit different that you can also do with the SCULK sensor. I have a comparator coming out of the SCULK sensor. And if we come and take a look at over here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sit on the ground just like this, and then I'm going to jump. And you'll see that I'm right next to it, so you would expect a full-length signal strength. But no, because I'm using a comparator, I can actually detect what kinds of movements are happening in the game. This is very exciting. This means you'll be able to tell what sort of movement is happening around you if you use a comparator. Now you'll see this one over here, because it's a direct line out, it's just doing the distance away from the SCULK sensor. This one here is doing the type of movement. For example, if I was to light a flint and steel, it will always give you an output of 12. And if we take a look, that as we can see, we've got 12 output just there, and we'll see the same thing. It will repeat the same thing over and over again. Again, for an example, if I was to place it near the SCULK sensor, it gives you the distance. This one gives you the type of movement. Now we're going to go and take a look at Planet Minecraft in just a minute, so you can see all the different kinds of signal strengths it will emit when it detects a vibration. But this is a very, very special kind of block, and it will detect all sorts of movement. If we are sneaking, however, it will not detect our movement. You'll see nothing here is happening. We're sneaking around and it's not detecting us. The moment we stand up, that's when they will receive the detection. Now, one thing I'd like to try is we're just going to pop over here, and we're going to place down a SCULK sensor, and then I'm going to place down a SCULK sensor just about there, okay? And what I'd like to see is, can it send different signals to one another? So the closer we get to there, okay, so it's not going to bounce the signal to one another, so it can't hear each other. So these means they're independent blocks. Very clever and very, very useful. Now you may be wondering, what is this world here? Well, we have generated this world in particular because if we are to go into spectator mode and go underground, you will be able to spot we have dripstone caves. Now this is not what the cave generation will be like. The cave generation will change when they introduce the proper new cave biomes. So currently dripstone is generating in the biomes, in the pre-existing cave biome. So as we can see, these are working just as before. There's been a couple of changes to how dripstone works. If we are to place our blocks all the way down there, you'll see they do connect. However, if we're going to come and do something the same over here, but I believe if we hold shift, they won't connect, so it gives you a few more options for builders out there. But there is now some form of generation with dripstone, which is very nice. If you want to get this naturally generating, you need to select the dripstone cave single biome choice when you generate your world. There is no other way to obtain it just yet, but at least That is now being worked on. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go over to Planet Minecraft and take a look at some of the details which are being given to us over there. So let's jump around just like this, and as you'll see here we are on Planet Minecraft. This is the, not Planet Minecraft, the Minecraft.net. This is the changelog, and this is what I was talking about just a minute ago. Over here, this is what the SCULK sensor will emit if using a comparator, and we can see there's tons upon tons of different vibrations which will be detected. You can even detect when a player starts eating and finishes eating, when an entity is hit, when you've added items to arm stands. This is incredibly useful, and they're going to be tons upon tons of redstone contraptions which come out of this one just here. Everything down to lightning strikes, which will emit a 15 signal strength. It wouldn't surprise me if these things do change. Maybe some get added, some get removed. We'll have to see how that plays, and there is always the feedback site for responses to this if you've got different ideas of what you'd like to see. There have been some technical changes in this snapshot. They have removed the maxed build height from the server properties file. This is quite interesting. There's a lot more hints that we might see an increase to the world height in future snapshots and in this update, so we'll have to keep our eyes on that one. They've also introduced game events. This is what the SCULK sensor will be detecting. There is a long list of them there. I'm not going to read through them just there. There have been vibrations tags added, and also ignore vibrations, so if you're sneaking around you can ignore certain ones. Again, we also have a whole bunch of bug fixes in this update, but if you have enjoyed today's video, do make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, because I release a video on the snapshots when they release covering what is new. So thank you ever so much for watching today's video. If you have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, as it really does help out the channel quite a bit, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.